I had my own mommy and daddy at home, and my sister. Where were they? I hoped they would find me soon. The woman fed me scraps of food, and every time I needed to use the bathroom, she picked me up and carried me there. I thought she was going to drop me. I couldn't stop shaking. After 3 days, I couldn't take it anymore. I plucked up the courage to speak to her, and I said, "If you regret what happened to your daughter, then please think of me and my family. Let me go home to them." I then started crying, and the woman just stared at me, silently. She didn't say a word, and just went to bed. I lay on the floor of the kitchen shivering, tied to the chair, and gave up all hope of ever being able to go home. I needed to get out of there, but how? I must have fallen asleep, but then the next moment I was being shaken awake, and the woman was standing there with her hair all wild and her eyes all crazy. She didn't say a word. She just took a knife out of the kitchen drawer and walked towards me with it. I just stared at her, trying not to scream. Then she laughed and threw it on the table. Suddenly, she bent down towards me and said, "You're right. I do regret what happened. I don't deserve to be alive. In fact, I've swallowed a whole bottle of pills and I'm going to drink some poison now, and then I'll be dead too." There was nothing I could do. I tried to scream to stop her, but she drank the poisonous liquid and then fell onto the floor. She was dead. She'd killed herself, and I'd seen it happen. I couldn't bear to see her lying there with her mouth hanging wide open and her eyes wide in shock. I dragged myself and the chair I was tied to over to the table and found the knife she'd threatened me with, and I used it to cut the rope. Then I called 911 and waited for the police to come and get me. I wanted to call my mommy too, but I was in such a state of panic that I couldn't even remember her number. The police came and took the body of the woman away, and a kind policewoman took me home to my parents and my sister, who were worried sick. They'd reported me missing, and the police had been looking for me for 3 days. It was honestly the most horrific thing that's ever happened to me, and I swear that woman's ghost is haunting me. My parents got so worried about all the nightmares I was having and sent me to a psychiatrist. For a while, I thought maybe I just had a psychological problem. But now, I'm not so sure. That woman won't leave my mind. Sometimes when I'm walking home from school, I can actually see her shadow following me. That long, stringy hair and her laugh. I hear her laugh ringing in my ears all the time. Honestly, the nightmares used to be so bad. There was one in particular where I'd be having a picnic by the lake. Then the woman would appear, and she'd pick me up and throw me in the lake, and then as I was drowning, I'd hear her cackling above me. I couldn't stop thinking about her. It became like an obsession. Even when I was awake, I'd jump every time I heard a sound. And don't even get me started on the forest. A couple of years ago, I had to go there with my dad to get some wood for the fire. Maybe it was because it was fall, or maybe I was just tired, but I'm not joking. I saw the woman. She appeared from behind a tree and was grinning at me. I screamed so much that my dad drove me straight to the psychiatrist. He says I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm 15 now, and the fear is beginning to fade a bit, but I'm still very jumpy. I just hope I get over it one day. I need her to stop haunting me. My story is pretty terrifying, right? Please share your comments below, and don't forget to like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more stories.